Here we go, everyone. We are back. We are ready for this episode. We are going to talk about an Orange County team that once again won, although with a rotated side, a bunch of young players. I believe one of the youngest roster or 11s in the history of the club, if not the youngest. Who knows? We're ready for this, and we got to talk about upcoming match. We have other stuff going on. Let's get this thing started. Welcome to the Show of Champions. This is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. How's it going, Orange County? Welcome to another episode of the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, the first and only show dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club, its fans, and supporters. I'm your host, Ray Samora. I'm here to take you through this journey as we discuss all things Orange County Soccer Club. And helping us out on this episode, a familiar group of co-hosts. First, Dylan. Dylan, welcome back. How are we doing?
We're not bad. I'm really happy about this result, even if it, does it really matter in the grand scheme of things? Whatever. It was, in fact, the youngest ever Orange County starting 11, Raymond.
I said at least
you
one
got
of,
there.
if not the. I was close. I was close. It's not like I said this was the oldest starting 11, and now you're correcting me, Dylan. So
I just want to help you. Oh, yeah, you're right. Because this is the place I come to be smart. That's what the show is known for. Intelligence.
Intelligence galore. One of those intelligent people is Brad. Brad, who is suffering with no air conditioning in the desert of Nevada. Hopefully he does not pass out during this episode due to heat exhaustion. Brad, how are you doing?
If I pass out tonight, it's not due to heat exhaustion. It's due to consumption of Malort because the Jagermeister Cup is over for us and my dog is barking at me.
Your dog wants a shot of Malort too, which I do not condone giving a shot of Malort to the dog. But let's the anti-Malort Cup is what Brad called it, is over for Orange County. Hey, Malort, talk to us if you want to.
It's just the Malort Cup. Was it the anti-Jaeger Cup?
Oh, the anti-Jaeger Cup. Yeah, okay. Yeah. Dylan's correcting me. That's number 2 correction from Dylan on me. We've got the person on our show that probably wouldn't be able to call a strike if it went right down the middle, and that is the bearded one, Larry. Larry, how are you doing?
You know what? I could not be any better unless I was younger and taller. But in regards to intelligence, just keep something in mind. God will make a man either good looking or smart. And obviously, all of us here are neither one.
Both.
Wow.
Okay. Speak for yourself, Larry. Come on.
Right. I'm incredibly good looking and so dumb.
We are off to a great start here with this episode. We're all bashing each other.
I just want
Dylan's
to take
trying
a
to
minute.
correct everyone. Go ahead, Dylan.
It's fine. I just want to say that you can subscribe to our Patreon, and in that I will just be shirtless reading books of facts. So,
in a fanny pack.
Of course. I mean, you got to cover up some things. Enjoy that, everybody. You can just find that on Patreon.
We don't have a Patreon. Dylan, don't try and get us going. And by the way, I just want to call out, as far as making money, if you would buy a fanny pack with Dylan's big old face right there on the front of it, let me know if you would buy that. We will make it happen if we get enough people saying they'd buy that. We're past to producer Andy's probably just pulling out his hair because we are just not on topic. Let's get on to topic. This past weekend, Orange County with, like Dylan corrected me, the youngest ever 11 on the pitch to start a match for Orange County. Went up to Oakland in a midday match, which is always a tough thing as well, with an upcoming midweek match against a rival in Phoenix coming up, a league match. This past weekend was Jagermeister Cup, and Orange County goes out and wins. And so that was 2 wins to wrap up the Jagermeister Cup, which obviously they were already knocked out at that point when that happened, but 2 wins, and I believe both of them clean sheets as well. And now Orange County is riding the clean sheets. I believe it's 5 in the last 6 matches. And yes, I know I was calling for a veteran lineup to just keep the thing going and keep it all going. Hey, the youngsters went out and still kept it going. And I believe Bryce Jamison maybe hopefully opens up the net now here for a late season run for some goals. Let's talk about this match. Dylan, first to you. Overall thoughts of this match and what stood out to you?
The youth for one, but I think that was the right call. Again, Alan Hansen said you'll never win anything with kids, and he was famously wrong. And Orange County has proved that 2 times in a row. We managed to get it done against Sacramento, and not a particularly young Sacramento side. We managed to get it done here. I know it started shaky. It started pretty similarly to the match that we had in Oakland back in April, but. Hey, Tet Cadona, well done on that double save to kind of keep things level early on and let your team get into it. This was also a good opportunity to let someone like Koa Santos, who has not really been in the picture since he arrived, earn some minutes, stay match fit, maybe give Danny Stone a reason to look at him again. And ultimately, we got to rest a whole bunch of our very important players for Wednesday's match in the league, which is the only competition that we're still in, so the only one that actually truly matters. That being said, it feels like Bryce Jamieson is this veteran player because he's been around for 3 years, and I could be wrong. It could be longer than that now. He's 19, so I laughed when I read that. I was like, he's got to be older. I'm writing the recap and thinking, he's older than that. And then I'm realizing, no, in fact, he's not older than that. He's 19. So, that was his first, so far, only goal of 2025. I hope it opens the floodgates, like you said. And if you're not watching live and you still want to know what happened in the match, just skip the recap or skip the highlights video and read our recap, OCSCpodcast.com.
I like it. A plug in there for the website from Dylan. I love it. Brad, your thoughts on what went well for Orange County this match, or is it just something went bad for Oakland?
No, it looks like our play style has really translated from top to bottom. The team plays aggressively. They're pressing. They're trying to win ball back. And when they do win the ball back, it's decisive. That pass from Kone to Jameson that led to the goal. First of all, wonderful pass, beautifully weighted, in transition, off a turnover. And then more importantly, on top of that, absolute clinical finish from B-Jams. You won't see any complaints from me. If there's ever only one highlight that you need to see from this game, not that our article online is going to do it non-justice, but it was just a truly beautiful play, and I think it needs to be witnessed as well as read. Beyond that, defense isn't missing a beat. Definitely producing our own luck with some good saves. I think Cadona played very well. But, play the kids, we said last week, the kids we played, and it just shines a spotlight on why Orange County and the quote-unquote next wave system just continues to be so popular amongst youth players in the league. And on top of that, just producing a pipeline of potential recruits for the USL.
I'm going to just be honest. I want to let y'all know and remind everyone, it was you three that said play the youth. I was the one that was on, hey, let's start strong. And then once we get a 2-3 goal lead, then we can bring the youth in. Larry, let's get to you really quick. It's not like this was a who cares match for both teams. Oakland actually was playing for something, for any potential chance at the time of the match. They were still playing for a chance to be able to push through into the Jagermeister Cup. It would have relied on some other results throughout the night. I don't even know if the results happened the way they would have needed to for Oakland. But at the time of the match, Oakland thought they had a chance still. And yet Orange County is able to go into Oakland, again, weird 1:00 kickoff time, which they're not used to, and they get the win. What were your overall thoughts on this? Who stood out for you? Is there anyone different from what we've heard before?
No, Bryce's goal was fantastic. Tet's save was absolutely fantastic. We could probably sit here for 10 or 15 minutes and talk about Ashton Miles saving that ball twice off the line, saving it and then saving it to himself, and then backheeling it off the line. But I want to mention that once again, and during this run of these last 6 games where we've got 5 clean sheets, taking care of the ball, completing in this past game 88% of our passes, completing almost 500 passes. And that has been a big trend here these last 5-6 games. And before next week's show, I'm going to go and research these last 5-6 games to see just where that percentage is, because it's fascinating to me. Because one of my biggest complaints is always, God, we gave the ball away again. And we just haven't been these last 5-6 games, and it's been fantastic to watch. There was a lot of really, really solid play from the guys up the middle. Tom did his job, captaining the team. And Chick Kone, that kid's a beast. He is built like a brick, what house. And I just think sometimes if he ever ran into somebody full speed, he might kill them. And he also might get a contract to play linebacker in the NFL, because he's just that big and that strong and that fast.
Larry, can you volunteer? Maybe you'll stand at the PK spot and just let him run straight into you and see how well.
Bro, I am 55 years old. With this team that averaged 21.9 years, it would take 2.5 of those players to add up to my age. Just walking out on the pitch, I'd pull a hammy, let alone let him run into me. Are you out of your mind?
Would it be a ball or strike if that happened? Just out of curiosity.
Yeah. Would the catcher have to move out of the way for you to get hit, or you just,
When any one of you has the backbone to put on the gear and get behind the plate and have a 17-year-old, 6'5", 240-pound kid throw 90-mile-an-hour fastballs at your face, let me know. I can hook you up for that. As soon as you have the courage.
Purpose?
If you ever want to squat and take balls to the face like Larry, let us know and we'll get you connected with that.
Absolutely. Umpiring pays well.
I do want to give a shout out to the Jagermeister Round 4 Team of the Week. On the bench, Tet Kadono made the cut there. Definitely well deserving. I do like that Larry did remember to bring up Ashton Miles and his amazing save. It's not the easiest thing to do, run full speed to stop the ball literally on the goal line, and then have the quickness to turn around and get it out of there before anyone else can touch it. It's a game-winning save at that point in this, and I will call it a save. It's not just a clearance at the line. It was a legit save from your center back that helped secure a clean sheet for Orange County, which was amazing. Dylan, I want to ask you, and this is not really soccer related at all, but maybe you know the answer to this, or maybe I'll open this up to any of you. Oakland Roots player Panos Armanekas, I believe. I'm probably butchering the name there. I apologize. Does he have some sort of record or league record for the shortest shorts worn by a player on the pitch? And then I don't know if any of you noticed, there was probably a spirit of the Oakland A's that came up from the grass and sort of grabbed his leg at some point in the midfield right near the ref, because he stumbled on absolutely nothing. And he even turns around. If you go back on the replay and watch it, he turns around and looks back and tries to see what grabbed his foot. So that's a double question there. Did you see the ghost of the Oakland A's past grab his foot when he was making a run in the midfield? And is there anyone else that you've seen wearing shorter shorts in the USL than him?
In the USL, no. At a country concert, yes.
Okay. There we go, Larry. Dylan, did you see the spirit of the Oakland A's reach up and grab his leg while he's trying to counterattack against the Orange County defense?
I didn't. I don't know if you can see ghosts. Everything I've learned from that, Discovery TV or whatever channel has that weird ghost thing, is you mostly wander around in the dark with radios and wait for them to appear. So I didn't know if it was going to work in the daylight, to be honest with you. Anyway, he might have to fight former teammate, I think, John Vaccaro for shortest shorts. And I'm going to be honest with you, I have a lot of time for dudes wearing really short shorts. I'd love for us to bring it back. NBA, USL, doesn't really matter. It's a good time. If you've got the thighs for it, I think it's a better product if we can all see it. Plus, the tan lines are a little bit better that way. So that's my New Year's wish for the 2026 season, is mandated short shorts. I mean, just you hike them up, right? And you get your fingers in and you kind of scoop them up underneath your
I'm so uncomfortable.
Your liners there, and then you just let them rock with a little bit more thigh.
The The fun part, Dylan, is you're making a man that takes balls to the face every weekend sort of uncomfortable with what you're talking about there.
I don't think that's
Brad,
a weekend gig for Larry.
It is a weekend gig for him. Brad, did you there's no answer to what happened there in the midfield. And I know I'm putting too much time on something small, but I like to think it's like one of the spirits of like Reggie Jackson or one of the former A's out there that grabbed at him and wants the ballpark back. Any final thoughts on this match? We'll just go to that. Brad.
All I can think of is short shorts now, and just not only that, but let's bring back the new boot goofing style with that. I agree with Dylan, but like, let's all just get new boot goofing with some short shorts and do some heel clicks.
Really quick, right? Because this has been so much of a baseball podcast already. When you search for notable Oakland A's, you settled on Reggie Jackson, who played a couple of years with them.
Dude, Reggie Jackson made his name at Oakland. You are too young
Dylan.
to know, son.
Come on,
okay,
Dylan.
so
See,
Mr. October,
thank you.
the 4 years in New York. Ricky Henderson, man. It's right there. It's formerly Ricky Henderson Field.
No, but this was sort of short right field, so that's why I thought of Reggie Jackson.
I don't
Sorry.
know this.
I'm
sorry,
with
Dylan.
Dylan here. If you're gonna choose one name, choose
He's a
Mr.
left fielder.
Stolen Base. Choose
He's left
Mr.
field.
Stolen Base, though. That's his.
Choose
building.
the man himself. Put some
He's
respect
left
on his
field.
name.
He's left field, and this is not a baseball podcast, so we're going to end it there. And Brad, you don't even get a chance to say anything more about this match because we're going to move on. Because Orange County, who has now gone, I believe, again 5 of 6 matches with clean sheets, they've looked better. They've looked more like the team I think we all thought we would see after the opening match against Oakland. And instead, they stumbled for a bit, but they're finding their form, and now they are going to be coming up against what is probably one of the longer standing rivalries in USL Championship, even though, again, over the last few years, maybe not as much of a rivalry. But obviously, Orange County fans remember back in 2018 when Phoenix won the Western Conference Finals match and the fans stormed the pitch. And from that point on, again, apparently they claimed the pitch their home, even though I don't know why. But let's talk about this upcoming match. Orange County, it's a midweek match tomorrow, as of this recording, on Wednesday. Midweek match at home against Phoenix. Chance to go, continue the run. And to help us talk about this match against Phoenix, we're going to bring on someone to help us out there. And that's the director of radio broadcast for Phoenix Rising, and that's Kevin Kardasz. Kevin, welcome to our show.
It's good to meet you guys. Good to be here as well.
Yeah, so we appreciate you taking some time to come in and speak with us. This weird midweek match for teams. I know it's not always the easiest thing. Luckily for Phoenix, it's one of the shorter trips in the West Coast, as opposed to what Orange County had a few weeks back, where they had to go all the way to the East Coast on a midweek match. Give us an idea of what you're expecting out of Phoenix in a midweek match, making the trip out to Orange County, and how Phoenix is looking right now.
Well, Phoenix is in sort of the same spot that everyone is in the West right now, right? It's the most compact conference of the two, and it feels a lot like last year. Phoenix feels like they're on the other side of the coin of last year as well. We were hovering around the line, right? It felt like we were always on the tightrope of being in and out of the playoffs. This time, we're trying to push for a little bit more, and so I think that Phoenix wants to go in this one and sort of keep momentum rolling. We're in the middle of the longest road game stretch that we've had in years. We had 3 in a row, and then we had 1 home game. Then we're in the middle of another 3 in a row. We come back for 1 more against Birmingham, and then there's 2 more in a row after this. So I think it comes out to like 8 in 10 games on the road. It was all East Coast last time, and now it's all West Coast. I'm still at home in Phoenix right now, but we're driving out tomorrow to go do the game on site. And I think you're just going to look at a side that wants to keep momentum going. They kind of lost it against the Battery when they had that 4-1 battering out at Patriots Point. And so now they want to regain the rope. And it started a couple weeks ago, and now they're trying to keep it rolling on this sort of California West Coast trip.
And you mentioned this is a big road sort of a bunch of road matches happening here in this, and I know that's always a difficult thing for any team when it comes to that. I would assume also just throwing it in as a midweek match makes things a little bit different, because players that are probably used to very specific training routines and schedules, now you're getting it thrown off weird. What do you expect from Phoenix as far as the outcome of this? I mean, what have you experienced from the team in these situations so far this season when you don't have your full week of training? Has the team been successful? Have they struggled? What's it been looking like for Phoenix?
Phoenix has done well in these spots with what they've been given. I'm pretty sure the stat is, at least right now, no team in the championship has fielded the same amount of unique starting 11s that Phoenix has in 2025. And that's not because they've done it by choice. It's been because of availability. Phoenix has struggled this year with keeping guys on the field to no fault of their own. But when you train in the hottest climate in the entire championship and you're always pushing through one of the most adverse conditions to have a football club in, you're going to run into little knocks and bumps. They also had what comes with having the wealth of talent, especially stateside, is that you lose a lot of guys to CONCACAF Gold Cup. So they had to fight through guys like Joel Margarita being gone for Gold Cup, World Cup qualifiers. Jarius Johnson left at the same time. Carl Fred Saint was gone. Damon Rivera went out with Guatemala. So they've had to mix and match, right? You've seen academy kids. Last week, they had 4 different academy kids, one that's been converted to a professional contract, play in or around the starting 11 by the time that the 90 had elapsed. It was Braxton Montgomery, who's played almost 1,000 minutes in 2025, and he's still not a pro. He's still on an academy deal. They've had to mix and match a lot. I don't expect that to change, especially with the midweek game. They still play on Saturday later on in the week, so they're going to sort of try to stack that. But they haven't had a game this year where it feels like they've just looked towards Saturday, right? They've played every game heads up and face up. They've tried to win every game. Nothing will change on Wednesday, but it's going to be another one where you probably see some interesting pieces move in and out of the lineup because that's just been the story of 2025.
Hey, Kevin, I'm Larry. It's good to meet you, and we're glad to have you here. And I think we'll probably, because obviously you are incredibly knowledgeable, way more knowledgeable than I certainly am. I'm just occasionally entertaining. And speaking of the long road trips and having so many games at this time of year, right now as we speak, it's 101 degrees in Phoenix. If my weather app is correct.
Yeah.
Tomorrow at 7 p.m., it's going to be 107. How much do you think that has to do with USL scheduling for Phoenix?
I think it's the main reason they do this on purpose, because then when you look at the fall, we have, I think it's 7 home games and 3 away games. We barely go away. And when they do, it's in Pittsburgh, North Carolina, and Sacramento. So they're not going out besides Sacramento, which might be a little hotter when they get there in September. They're going to play in a colder climate, but they do this on purpose. They want to play on the road. And this is just what comes with that, right? You're going to play 3 in a row. You're going to come back from 1. You're going to play another 3 in a row. And when you come play at home, you're playing at 110, 115. They've had, I think it was this year, when they played against Sacramento at home at 30th and Washington, it was their first matinee day game that they had in like 3 years. It had been over like 800 days since they had hosted a day game in Arizona. And that's just because of the heat. It constricts a lot of the things that happen play-wise. But Mouhamadou will say this, during midweek media. They think of it as that adverse challenge being an advantage when they go on the road. When you go play in a cooler climate, it's more of a reward than it is anything else, because now you get to play in 75, 80-degree heat, whereas we play and they practice at 110. They practice early in the mornings. They try to get out of it. But when we get there for media on Wednesdays, it's still hot, man. They're always practicing and pushing through one of, like I said, the most adverse conditions that you can put out in the championship. Nothing changes, but it's totally the heat that pushes them away in the summer from home ground.
That makes a lot of sense. One more question for you, Kevin. Can you name the greatest Phoenix Rising goalie who played for Orange County Soccer Club?
It has to be Patrick Kurkowski. It has to be the guy in net. It has to be the guy.
Absolutely. Patrick is a hero of ours. We always get very happy when Phoenix comes back, not because Phoenix is coming, but because we all get to see Patrick.
I love seeing Patrick on a day in, day out basis. He's one of the coolest guys that you'll talk to, and I'm sure you guys know that. He's one of just the most personable dudes, has a great football history too. Playing in the Bundesliga, he has like that wealth of professional knowledge and history, and it's been really cool to see him get back between the sticks. After 2 years behind Rocco Rios Novo, having him come and play in Phoenix and be the starter and win the job back at one point, all the heroics, he's just, you can't not root for Patrick. That's my guy as much as he is yours. Like, we love him too.
Yeah, he's a fantastic human being, great wife, great kids. And one of the things that all of us still remember about him from that 2021 championship is when What's His Nuggets for Tampa Bay had a penalty. And right before the penalty kick was taken, the camera flashed right to Patrick's face, and he smiled. He had a little smile on his face, and it was beautiful. And then he saved it. And, one day we're going to steal him back because, Orange County's nicer than Phoenix. As much as I like Phoenix, Orange County's better. So anyhow, thank you for being here tonight. I think Dylan's got a question or two for you.
For sure.
It was. Kevin, thanks for joining us. Less of a joke of a question. Who's the player that you've been most impressed by at Phoenix or with Phoenix this year?
I think of the new crop of guys that have come in, most people are keyed in on the dynamicism of a Joel Margarita on the wing. For me, it's Hope Avayevu as the 10. He's done so many different things this year, at times playing as a false 9. He's been a pocket 10 at different points. But there's no one more creative in my mind on the team, and there's not many better in the championship. I think that he's an easy all-league selection when it comes down to it at the end of the year. He leads the team in goal contributions. He's going to make a push for the golden assist, boot, whatever they call it now, at the end of the year. And I think that he's special. I think that he's a guy who, when we look at this, in 365 more days, whether it's at the next summer window or it's in the next fall after 2026, he's not going to be here. He's going to be in a better league. He's going to be in the MLS or something like that. At 5'6", we had questions of, where does he fit frame wise? He's sort of short and stout, but he is just a menace on the press, and everything that you think that he couldn't do, he does. Whether it's dynamicism on the ball or being able to beat not just one, but 1-on-2 on the ball, trying to push through multiple defenders, or on the counter in defense. He is just so multifaceted. I don't know what they would do without him, and I think that he's brilliant. I said that at the beginning of the year. It was one word to describe every player on the team, and it was just brilliant, period, for Hope Avayevu. He came from Ventura County. He didn't have the year he wanted there, and Mouhamadou brought an entire midfield. It was Carl Fred Saint. It was Hope Avayevu, and it was Noble Okello, and Hope was the standout through just 4 weeks. It stayed that way the entire time. He's a special, special guy, and he's really surprised me.
Awesome. Well, love having you on the show, Kevin. I got 2 questions for you. One, you're obviously well connected to the team, and obviously Danny Stone is the coach of Orange County, and you guys had a little bit longer to prepare for this match, given you had the bye last week. So, what's been the mood around training camp when it comes to facing against an old friend now turned foe?
I think it's interesting because Phoenix, you look at the starting 11 from the championship winning side in 2023, and you look at who's been held over, and at this point, it's not many. I think there's 3 guys left who have played on that team, and one of them is Darnell King, and he started in the 11, and now he's an assistant coach. And you could count him as a player in 2025 because he did make an appearance against Monterey Bay in like an emergency 25-day contract situation. But besides, I think it was Mo Traore, Formella, and Quaisho, they haven't brought a lot of guys back. And those holdovers from that title winning side, and Rakowski obviously, are the ones who would have that connection to Danny Stone. But you can tell that Phoenix still embraces him. Danny was a loved member of not just the team, but the community with his time in Phoenix. And when they parted ways, there was a palpable split between how the fans felt about it and how everybody else did. And everybody loved Danny. We loved Danny on the broadcast side. He was always a great dude to talk to. You guys know that now. One of the coolest, nicest, and also most collected guys that you'll speak to on a face-to-face basis. Knows exactly what he wants, and probably went to his perfect situation in Orange County, a place that loves youth development, a place that loves to push guys down the pipeline and get them to other leagues. That's Danny Stone's bread and butter, right? Like, he might have always been, intended to be an Orange County man, but you can still tell that people are connected to Danny Stone. And so I think that while the player side isn't as focused on the Danny Stone matchup now as they might have been maybe a year ago, the fan base is still involved with it. And you can tell on that side that there's still a little something between it.
I know I also alluded to the fact you guys are coming off a bye. Your last game was the 19th against, I believe, El Paso, where it went to penalties.
It was
the Jagermeister Cup. How's the team trained over the last week to kind of prepare for, longer bye week, midweek game, traveling to Orange County?
Phoenix Rising, they actually took a mental health break when they came back from Locomotive. They let the guys go do their thing. It's been a really, really tough stretch. Like I said, we've talked about the road games, but also the injuries. I mean, they just kept piling up. Even in El Paso, they watched some more key pieces sort of hit the turf, and they are getting healthier as we get closer to that time. Their captain, Pop Marboy, finally made his return to the pitch after 2.5 months, I think, against Locomotive in a 30-minute pitch stint at the very end. And that was the first time we'd seen them in months. So they kind of let everybody go on a mental health break. They came back, and then they were in full training after that point. It was a good reset period. They got a little bit healthier. I'm pretty sure that there are a couple more guys who are in full training that haven't been in full training since then. They were tweeted on by Owen Evans. It's guys like Remy Cabral who haven't been back in the mix since pretty much the beginning of the year. He went out with a knee injury and then he came back. So they're working together on health. And I think that was really the big push during the bye week. It wasn't, do we obviously staying locked in, but it's really how do we stay healthy and how do we get healthier getting towards Orange County? And that's really been the big push for the club as of late. And I think that they accomplished that in between the last, 10 or 11 days since they played a game. So I guess we'll see when the match day squad comes out there tomorrow.
Yeah, one more for you. For those of you listening at home, Phoenix is half plus one regular season games. I believe it's a 30-game season because of the I don't call it the Jagermeister Cup. I call it the Malort Cup, um, which is the and however, with that said, um, what's your grades for the team so far through the season? And just if you could point out one thing that you think the team needs to improve on to 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 get to that end of the line, hopefully play out for your guys' team.
It's tough. A team that started, they didn't get their first win until I think their 6th week of total play. Maybe it was week 5, and it looked like they were just trying to figure it out. They were still reeling off the fact that Juan Guerra 2 years ago was sort of Phoenix Rising as a whole, and he overnight took over the team in a way that I don't think that many could. And so then you're on the search for that again, and 2024 just doesn't fall your way. Things just don't fall the team's way, and so you get in 2025 with not just big expectations, but a lot of holdover doubt from what had happened the year before. Guys who are just waiting for something to happen. And it took, a month and change for something to happen. But I think since then, they've really got off and running. The Open Cup was sort of the starting piece for what ended up being, I think, a really successful season so far. I'd give them about a B+. If you could tell, or if I could say one thing that I think that they personally needed to improve on, it's at times connection in the final third. I still think that for a team that scores as much as they do, they're looking for that final piece in the final third. They're looking for something to make it go. If you look, for example, against Oakland Roots, we made that trip to the Coliseum, and they got a big result out of that. But if you look at the goals that were procured, it's an Isan Sako worldie that probably isn't scored by many guys in the championship. And then it's the Charlie Dennis just mind-blowing goal that skips in right past the outstretched arms of the keeper. And those are 2 goals that aren't exactly created through anything, but I have a guy who can do this sometimes, and the sometimes hit 2 times in a row, right? You got your 2 goals and you'll take a result, but I think that they want that more sustained connection from the midfield to the final 3. And that goes beyond the doubts that people have sort of sprinkled into the back line, which to me are just injury based. You've played an academy kid almost 1,000 minutes through the back line out of necessity, but now as your center backs come back, and Selasenge, your lone man center back from LA Galaxy, and Potmar Boy, your captain, come back through the middle, and Emi Quacio gets to work back in as the full-time left back, and Colin Smith keeps his spot off the right. That's not an issue to me. It's all about improved connection towards the final third. And I think if that happens, you're looking at a team that could do something really special towards the end of the year. So
awesome. So I want to ask one last question here before we let you go, because we're running on the time here. Let me ask you first and foremost, are you going to be on the call for the match tomorrow?
Yeah, it's myself and Ryan Sikora. It's us on the call tomorrow. We'll be there on the concourse as always. So we'll be there doing the game.
Awesome. Perfect. And just to, for maybe people that are curious in getting into this line of work, give us an idea of what it's like, how you get started with something like this.
For me personally, Ryan sort of helped create what Rising Radio is. For people who don't know, Rising Radio is at one point it was purely student-led, and now it's an independent and club-based radio sort of team that does English radio broadcast on X and Facebook. And then over the last year, they've actually forged the first ever on-air radio deal for the group. So we're on local AM radio, and then we're on SiriusXM for primetime games. I didn't know that I wanted to be a broadcaster until I got to school. I'm an incoming now junior at Arizona State University. And when I was a freshman there, I didn't really know what I wanted to do, but I knew that I liked sports, and I'm just not good enough to play any of them at a high level. So it was, where do I fit that in? I was a writer for the Fan Control Football League when I was like 15, 16, and 17. I got an internship there, and then I wrote for the Johnny Manziel Indoor 7-on-7 League. It was pretty cool, but I was like, man, I really don't want to write. And then I just sort of found myself into a club. It's Blaze Radio at Arizona State. And then one day Ryan gave me the call over my first winter break, and he was like, hey, do you want to be a production assistant? I was like, yeah, I'll push the buttons. And I pushed the buttons for a full year to the point where I was a good enough button pusher to sort of get on the mic. And it took about a year to really get ingrained. I wasn't a soccer guy before. I talked about this a lot. I didn't really understand the draw. And over the course of the year, I was like, okay, like this is awesome. Like I love this. And then I got on the mic, and I think if anybody wanted to get into it, I would just say it's all about the foot in the door by any means possible. I've done things as seemingly insignificant to me now, but major at the time, is a swim meet between Arizona State and like NC State for the opener. I couldn't even see the pool. I was like sitting like poolside, which means I couldn't see where anyone was finishing. I was sort of just guessing, throwing out the wall as to who was finishing, and I think I got a few of them right. I've done water polo, I've done lacrosse, which I love, and then I kind of worked up, and it's gotten a little more serious over time, but it all just started with being able to say I'll do whatever. And whether it was push buttons or it was do water polo or do swim and dive and call sports that I didn't really understand, it was all about just taking the first step. And if anybody ever wants more info on that, just reach out to me. I'm easily findable on Twitter. So I'm always willing to give advice, because now I'm in the spot where Ryan was 2 years ago when he offered me my opportunity, and it's sort of hitting me that I might be becoming an actual adult, which is kind of getting a little sick in the chest. But we'll get there when we get there. So.
Yeah, Kevin, don't do it. Don't become an adult.
I've really tried to do that. I've tried to do it, but now this is like my last night in like my college place, and I'm like, dude, like this is like, it's getting like a little too real now. Like
it's funny how you talked about journalism and not wanting to write, and then not sure if you wanted to be in broadcasting. When I joined the Army way back a long time ago, they offered me a job. First job they offered me was to be a broadcast journalist.
Really?
And yes. And my first comment was, this is not a voice for radio or a face for TV. What else you got? They said, well, you can be a photojournalist. So I said, okay, that's right up my alley. So I did that, and I got my degree in journalism. So the path that you've taken is actually very, very impressive. And I can't say enough about how well spoken you are. And I'm not a Phoenix Rising fan, but I might have to listen to their to their Gamecast just to hear you and Ryan talk a little bit. But I can't listen to the whole thing or cheer for your team. I just want to let you know that.
No need to cheer, but I really appreciate you guys. You had reached out to Ryan, and then Ryan's like, "Do you want to do this?" I was like, "Yes!" Like I've been waiting to like do something like this, because all we do, and we're just hunkered down in Phoenix, and we're just working on our own thing. We've gone on a ton of road trips this year, trying to meet people and all that. We're going to Lexington, after this home game, and first year in the league, we're going to make the trip all the way out to Kentucky and go do that. And when this came across, my desk, which is a fairly empty desk in a fairly empty college apartment, I was like, yes, like I want to do this so bad. So I really appreciate you guys for the time, and this was super cool. So thanks for having me on, and hopefully we see a few of you guys when we're at the game tomorrow, because we'll be there on the concourse. So
I will be there, and I will come and say hello.
I was going to say
it's for easy to find us.
Yeah, I was going to say Larry, myself, and producer Andy, who's behind the scenes, we'll all be there tomorrow. So we'll try and stop by, say hi. And because you've been such a great guest, I'm not going to try and trick you in. I was going to sit there and say, hey, I got a challenge for you. Say the word butterflies on your stream or your broadcast tomorrow. But I'm not going to do that to you, because then if Phoenix fans know me and know the Orange Black Soccer Cast, they'd be mad at you for that. So I'm not going to even trick you.
All right.
I
won't. I appreciate it. I really do. I do. Because I've gotten caught in those before, where I've been told like, hey, do that. And they're like, oh, like after the fact, like I appreciate it.
You seem like a great guy, and I don't want the Phoenix fans upset at you if they find out that I'm the one that asked you to say the word butterflies. Phoenix fans don't like me when I mention butterflies, and that goes back to 4 or 5 years ago. So maybe at the stadium, if we get a chance to talk, I'll share that story with you. Everyone,
I'd love to.
I want to thank Kevin for taking some time to join us. Kevin, thank you for joining us on the show. Best of luck on your call tomorrow. And again, some of us will stop by and introduce ourselves in person and say hi. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, thank you. Have a good one, guys.
Thanks, Kevin.
Awesome. And that match against Phoenix coming up. And unfortunately, I didn't ask Kevin for his prediction on the score.
Bring him back on air. He's still in the green room.
If Kevin wants to, let's bring him back on real quick if you can, producer Andy, because we want to ask him his prediction if we can get that going. Kevin, your prediction for this match score-wise tomorrow, Phoenix at Orange County.
I think it's a little closer than the one that happened back in June. I'm going to give it – I'll go 2-1 Phoenix. I know this is your guys' cast. I'm going to go 2-1 Phoenix. I think it shrinks a little bit as opposed to last time, but I think that we're going to take it. I have to. Those are my guys.
Hey, there we go. And Larry might trick you with his score prediction, even though it's probably not a true one. Larry, what's your prediction for this match? You got to do it.
Hey, I got to do it. 5-0 Phoenix. Let's go. Nope. 2-1 OC.
2-1 OC.
Brad.
All right.
Brad, prediction.
I mean, clean sheet train hopefully keeps on rolling. Let's say 2-0 OC.
And then Dylan, your prediction before I give my fun prediction here.
Go 1-0 Orange County.
All right, my prediction is going to be 4-0 Orange County. We're going to have a replay of what we did against Phoenix in our last league match. Or sorry, not Phoenix, Las Vegas in our last league match. Yes. I just Phoenix in my mind. Okay, Kevin, now we will let you go. You're done. We appreciate you jumping back on real quick to give your predictions.
No problem.
Awesome. With a midweek match against Phoenix, unfortunately, we could not get a player live on this episode. So what we're going to do here, something we've never done here, we're going to get our DeLorean going. We're going to crank it up to 88 miles per hour at the Lone Pines Mall, and we're going to go back into the past with Brad. So Brad, from the past, take it away.
Passing it off to us, Ray. Obviously, this interview with Mo is being conducted prior to the game on Saturday. So we're going to avoid some questions along those lines.
Okay.
Mo, how are you doing? How are you doing today, sir?
I'm good. I'm glad you guys are having me. Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for joining us on the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. So I wanted to ask you a couple questions about kind of your story, how you got into soccer, and how you came back to Orange County. I know that you're from Japan, so I just wanted to get kind of an idea of what got you into soccer in the first place, and what brought you to Orange County to try out for the team in both 2024 and 2025.
Yeah, I started playing soccer since when I was 5 years old, and it's just like normal reason. My good friends was playing soccer, and I wanted to play, and that's how I got into soccer. And how I got to Orange County is long story, but after playing second division in Japan, I wanted to come to US, and I didn't know nobody, so I just find this website, and there's an open tryout for Orange County SC. So I was like, why not? So yeah, that's how I find Orange County SC.
That's awesome and very unique.
Yeah.
When you did come stateside and didn't make it to Orange County, you played a year in 2024 with LA Force. Want to talk a little bit about playing in NISA and your experience there?
Yeah. It was amazing. Like I always wanted to make it to Orange County SC, but I couldn't, and that makes me like that grow my hunger and makes me more competitive. And actually LA Force's environment is not as good as Orange County, but the players is everyone is so hunger and they want to make it to a more higher level. So it was so nice experience for me.
And, you started off the season coming off the bench, scoring a couple of very crucial goals very late in some games. Kind of especially in that game, I believe it was in Sacramento, where you tapped the ball into the net in like a very hectic, sequence. What was it like coming off the bench during times like that and really cementing yourself as a big game substitute?
Yeah, of course, as a player, I always wanted to start, but this is my first year, and I always get a little bit of minutes. But when I come in, I always wanted to score. I want always the stats result. So that goal happened because from the training, every training, I always wanted to score a goal, and yeah, that mentality came out in that game.
Awesome. So now you've got a couple games under your belt. You started this last game and scored even in the game. What's your experience been like since you've started in Orange County and really started cementing some minutes of your own now that you're starting a couple of games?
Yeah, I'm getting used to this level, and I got a little bit of chemistry of my players. So starting game and getting more minutes is amazing experience, and hopefully keep continues.
Awesome. And I know that although the game is happening and you guys are already in Oakland, um, and obviously the game will pass by the time this interview airs. We were talking in the pre-show, and you mentioned that there was a lot of kids who were going to be playing in this game.
Yeah.
What's it like with some of these kids, and seeing their growth and playing alongside them?
Yeah, like they're still like 17 and 16 or 18, and when I was that age, I was not good as them, and they have a lot of potential, and it's good experience for them to play with first team players, so and they can play actually the real game, so it's a massive for them, and yeah, I think it's amazing experience for them.
Awesome. Is there any particular players that have been signed recently that we should be on the lookout for?
Oh, the no, you guys talking about Efron, the newest one?
Just any players, any youth players
Oh,
that you see in the training and you want to just give a shout out to.
oh, I wanna shout out to Sheik, the just come from he's from Ivory Coast. The yeah striker. He's 19 years old, but he got big body and he doesn't look like 90 years old. Like he have a lot of strengths and he can hold the ball and yeah, I think he got a lot of potential. So yeah.
So Mo, I know we saw a lot of young players coming up, but I did hear you mention as well that some of the vets weren't making the trip up, kind of to prepare for the game on Wednesday. What are your thoughts on that, and just the
About
Jagermeister Cup as a whole?
oh yeah, for sure. For sure it's gonna be good opportunity for younger kids and some players who haven't get the minutes. For me too, it's gonna be a good opportunity to come in the game. So yeah, we're not going through the stage group anymore, but we gotta take this as an advantage and play well and be ready for the game on Wednesday. That's gonna be the most important thing.
So, Mo, heading into this upcoming game
Yeah,
on Wednesday, the teams had our last 4 out of 5 games, excluding the matchup against Oakland that's already gone on.
yeah.
There's been 4 clean sheets there, and a lot of improvement on the defense and just the flow of the game. What's been going on behind the scenes that really has shown an improvement in getting results at home and on the road?
Yeah, actually, when we had a bad result, we were still keep working hard, and we were believing that the result will come, and finally the result getting better. So yeah, hopefully this coming game, this is gonna be huge, important game for us. So we're gonna get clean sheet and some goals, and we're gonna dominate the game again, and yeah, we're gonna be on the good track for the playoffs.
Awesome. I like to hear that.
Yeah.
Speaking of, just the game in of itself, uh, one of the questions I like to ask players when they come on the show is who they see themselves, who they watched as a kid and mimic the game of, just to see like what makes Mo the player he is today. So, like, what players do you like to model your game off of?
Yeah. So growing up, I most of the time I play on the right side, like maybe right wing or right midfielder, and I was a right footed. So there's a lot of professional player play on the right side, but left footed, but less like right footed and right winger. So when I was a little, I always watched the William, the Brazilian guy, played in Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he was my player to watch the game, and yeah, that's how I got right now.
Awesome. I really like that answer a lot.
Yeah,
So, wrapping things up a little bit,
yeah.
did you have any specific Orange County spot that you wanted to give a shout out to? Any restaurants or area that you like to go to while you're out there?
Oh, Reshan. Yeah. Uh, I always miss Japanese food since I got in the US. And who was that? I think Nico said the Tomikawa, the sushi restaurant, was good, and we went there like already like 3 times already. But yeah, Tomikawa is my favorite place, and you can get all you can eat in $40. So yeah.
Okay, so take it from someone who's lived in Japan most of their life, Tamikawa in Orange County,
Yeah, I would recommend them.
and then a couple of other fun questions that we like to ask. Just in terms of the locker room, there's got to be someone who plays music. So who has the best taste in music and the worst taste in music in the locker room?
I would say best taste music is gonna be Nico. I don't want to say, but Nico, yeah, Nico will have good taste music. Then worst taste music is Chris for sure.
What does Chris play?
Chris,
That's
Chris always play like party songs.
party songs. Interesting. All right. And then finally, our last silly question that we like to ask each player as they come on is, what is your favorite vegetable and how do you prepare it?
The tomato is my favorite vegetable, and I don't want to cook tomato. I want to eat just fresh tomato.
Like in a caprese salad with some cheese and some basil?
Like nothing, just tomato.
Interesting. All
Yeah.
right. Well, I'll have to try eating a tomato like an apple and say that Mo taught me.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, sir. Before we wrap up, is there anything you'd like to say to the fans of Orange County and those listening to the show tonight?
Yeah. Thank you for come out and support always. Our home game is always like fantastic atmosphere, and I always excited to play in front of the supporters and fans. So yeah, I just want to be. I just want to thank. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us tonight, Mo, and best of luck to you tomorrow against Phoenix Rising at home.
Yeah.
And we'll talk to you soon.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks so much for that.
It's a tomato. It's a fruit, Brad.
Fruit.
It's a berry.
Yes, I know it's a fruit, but
fruit.
you try
you
being
said
the bad
you didn't
person
wanna-
there.
Oh, you don't want to be the bad person. You jump in with caprese salad. I let you get away with a high and tight 6 years ago when Orange County dismantled Reno, and I'm regret. This is how you repay me for that. Is you don't even push back when he mentions a fruit. Thomasina Voldsen said a fruit, and we pushed back on Thomasina Voldsen and said, "That's a fruit. Pick something else."
Well, great Scott, we made it back to the future, y'all. And they're giving Brad a hard time for what he did in his past.
And now we're a food podcast.
Yeah, we're just all over the place with this episode. But thank you, Brad. I know Dylan, myself, Larry, and thank you, Brad. Thank you, producer Andy, for that clip. We were unavailable, but Brad and Andy took some time to speak with Mo Warren. We appreciate that. It's always great to hear from players that we haven't heard from before, and that's one of them. And thanks to Mo for taking some time, I believe probably in his hotel room on the road in Oakland to talk with us. I mean, that's awesome that a player was willing to do that. So we appreciate that. Yeah, let's do this. Is there any other random or any other soccer stuff anyone wants to discuss?
I mean, I really thought one of you was going to have something. We're back.
Welcome to the Orange and Black Soccer Cast, the first and only show dedicated to Orange County Soccer Club. What's up, producer Andy? And producer Andy is trying to talk. I don't know if we can hear him or not.
Let's pull to Brad.
Sorry about the playing the video on top of you guys. That was
yeah. And producer Andy's apologizing for playing the video. I just went into automatic mode and heard that video and went into the introduction. I thought that was what we were doing there. Who knows? But okay.
Like amateur hour around here.
It's a show of intelligence. It always has been. What
did we learn this episode, Larry?
I learned that Phoenix Rising has a radio broadcast. I had no idea. But Kevin was a fantastic guest, and I look forward to having him on again in the future and talking with him a little bit tomorrow.
Yeah, that'll be fun. Dylan, what'd you learn?
I learned that Brad won't push back on her. No, in all seriousness, as he takes a gigantic swig of Malort. Good God, Brad. Has it been that bad?
No.
Look, we had Kevin on, and apparently he's going into, I think he said, his junior year of college.
Junior year.
Good for him. I mean, I'm a wayward adult and quite a bit older than he probably is. I think we all are, honestly. I'm going to put Brad as the most adult out of the four of us currently on the show. But he's channeled out a nice little thing. I got the flip side of that one where I ended up just talking to a stranger at a soccer game, and I can't escape this place. So... here's to the Hotel California that is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. Brad, what'd you learn this week?
Oh, I wanted to go next, but go, Brad. Brad, awesome plan.
Oh, no, go, please. Ray, please go next.
Well, what I learned is that apparently Brad has never heard of grape or cherry tomatoes, because when he pictures eating a raw tomato, he's thinking of a big old apple-sized tomato to take a hunkin' bite out of when he's eating it. So I make sure next time we see you, Brad, we're going to bring you the biggest tomato we can find so we can watch you take a big old bite out of that tomato instead of playing it safe and doing just a cherry or grape tomato. Brad, what did you learn this episode?
Yeah, this episode I learned that y'all are a bunch of bullies, and yet I feel old as mess because I'm pretty sure as a college junior, he does not know legally what alcohol should taste like. So
it shouldn't taste like Malort, just so we're very clear.
Yeah,
I know we're angling
I made a Malort comment towards him, so hopefully he does not understand what that meant.
I mean, we can. Awesome. No, don't commit crimes. Don't give him Malort.
No, please don't. I don't
check an ID.
That's not just illegal. That's a crime against humanity.
Also, he's working, so.
Awesome. Brad, we would have joined you in the swig of Malort, but I believe I might take one tomorrow pre-game, so I can only do one swig of Malort a week max. So that's where that goes.
I'll do one for you, Ray. Don't worry, I got
do it
you
right now. Oh, great.
Yes,
Malort, if you're listening, we drink Malort on the show apparently. So if you want to, get some sponsorship opportunity with us, let us know. With that said, we're going to wrap things up. I want to thank my co-hosts, Dylan, Brad, Awesome Polanski, Larry, also our guests for this episode, which was Mowar in the past, and Kevin Kardasz from Phoenix Rising radio broadcast. Also, producer Andy, thank you for helping out in this episode. All of you that listen, participate in the chats, thank you for doing so. With that said, this is the Orange and Black Soccer Cast. We are out.